The perceived value of utility-based projects like XRP is completely artificial. I've said it before and I'll say it again. In one of my videos on XRP, I explain why its current value is 100% inflated. Here's the thing. We don't yet know the real-world value of XRP. Sure, we understand its utility and recognize the massive potential it holds for the future, but as of today, its worth is still tethered to Bitcoin's movement. That's the reality. Take a look at the charts right now. XRP is trading at roughly $2.16, but let's be honest, this price is just mirroring Bitcoin's activity. Until XRP breaks free from this connection, we'll never see its true value shine. This shows that whatever Bitcoin does, often swayed by big players, as we all know, XRP tends to follow. The takeaway, XRP's current value isn't entirely genuine, it's heavily manipulated. In fact, much of the crypto space is subject to manipulation because everything ultimately ties back to Bitcoin. With Bitcoin dominance sitting at over 64%, it's no surprise. So for those wondering, why isn't XRP soaring even with banks adopting it and all the positive news, don't point fingers at XRP's fundamentals or Ripple. The problem lies elsewhere. It's easy to point fingers and say we're not in a utility bull run yet, but what if I told you we're inching closer every single day as legislation evolves and institutional adoption ramps up? Utility is steadily positioning itself as the ultimate value driver. The big question is, how far can these projects go? Where will XRP stand in a year or two? Predicting exact numbers is tough, but I've said it before, XRP has the potential to be worth trillions of dollars. Skeptical? I get it. Many still ask, where's the proof? So let's break it down. Bitcoin alone has hit a market cap of over $2 trillion. And while some might argue that's not enough evidence, think about it. If you've ever used the Bitcoin network, you already know how much more efficient XRP is. The potential is there. We all know Bitcoin has its flaws, especially when it comes to efficiency. Now, don't get me wrong, Bitcoin isn't useless, but let's be honest, it's probably overhyped. Personally, I believe XRP has the potential to match, if not surpass, Bitcoin in value over the long haul. Why? Institutional adoption and real-world utility, these are the game changers. But let's dive deeper into what I think will truly drive the future value of utility-based projects. Tokenization. It's a revolutionary concept that's gaining traction fast. Just recently, Mario Analfa brought up that BlackRock clip again. Have you seen it? It's worth a revisit. It's June 1st, 2025. And the future Larry Fink envisioned, tokenization of every financial asset isn't just coming, it's already here. At IBC, we see this as the next evolution of technology, tokenizing every stock, bond, and financial instrument onto a unified ledger. And we're leading the charge. We're not waiting for the future to arrive, we're building it. From tokenized RWAs to infrastructure credit, yield-bearing assets and hard assets, our incubation pipeline is unmatched. As the go-to media and exposure powerhouse for this space, we're shaping how capital, custody, and compliance flow in this multi-trillion-dollar revolution. The rails of tomorrow's financial system are being forged today, and we're driving the engine. Here's the deal. When it comes to BlackRock, we're not talking about just one ledger. We're looking at multiple DLTs and networks, all interconnected and feeding into a unified ledger. Sound familiar? It's exactly what the BIS has been hinting at with their multi-ledger initiative. And guess what? It's already in motion. This is the tipping point where entire asset classes start moving on-chain. This is the birth of Wall Street 2. Something I've been talking about for a while now, even with Ondo. It's all unfolding right in front of us. If you missed this back in 2024, now's your chance to catch it again. Tune in and pay close attention. It's happening now.
We believe the next step going forward will be the tokenization of financial assets. And that means every stock, every bond will have its own, basically, CUSIP. It'll be on one general ledger. Every investor, you and I, will have our own number, our own identification. We could rid ourselves of all issues around illicit activities about bonds and stocks and digital by having a tokenization. But the most importantly thing, we could customize strategies through tokenization that fits every individual. We would have instantaneous settlement. Think about all the costs of settling bonds and stock. But if you had a tokenization, everything would be immediate because it's just a line item. And so we believe this is a technological transformation for financial assets. If you want to talk about voting and voting choice and all the things, if we know every moment who is the owner of that stock and it's now time to vote, every individual who has ownership is identified and they can vote their own share.
Let's take a moment to appreciate what we're talking about here. BlackRock. Yes, the BlackRock. We all know how massive they are. No need to repeat it 100 times, but here's the thing. When an asset management giant like BlackRock points something out, they're not guessing. They're confirming that this revolution is already happening right here, right now. And here's where it gets even bigger. $84 trillion, that's the amount set to transfer across generations from baby boomers to Gen X, Y, and Z. This isn't just a wealth transfer, it's a seismic shift. And here's the wild part. We're part of it. By investing in the rails that power this new era, we're positioning ourselves right at the core of the action. Take XRP, for example. It's already seeing tokenized money flow through it on a massive scale. This isn't the future anymore. It's happening now, and we're in the thick of it. Imagine $84 trillion moving on chain. And that's just the beginning. Quincy nailed it in a great post saying the trade volume from real world asset tokenization is the adoption. Every time a tokenized asset is traded, it fuels demand for the network. Here's the key takeaway. As tokenized asset trading grows, the demand for crypto liquidity rises too. This drives value appreciation, creating a feedback loop that supports even greater liquidity and unlocks more capital for the ecosystem to thrive. Yes, this isn't just a trend, it's a transformative shift. Quincy's post captures it perfectly, offering one of the most insightful takes on tokenization I've come across. Many are missing the bigger picture when it comes to examples like BlackRock being highlighted. It's not just about bringing $100 trillion on chain. Imagine this. $100 trillion living on chain, being traded 24/7, 365 days a year, and sparking entirely new markets fueled by that kind of liquidity. But here's the kicker. It's not just $100 trillion. Scale that up. That's where the real game-changing value lies. Plenty of people have pointed this out before. Take this clip, for example, where Ripple discusses real estate on the XRP ledger. Jazzy Cooper makes the same powerful point that David Schwartz addressed back in 2023. I want to replay these two critical clips because they capture something you need to hear. First, listen to Jazzy Cooper's insight. Pay close attention.
So tokenization is really just the digital representation of something in the real world in a digital format. In this case, we're talking about the blockchain. So taking something in the real world, it could be anything. It could be equity, it could be something that you own, it could be a certain privilege like the ability to vote, and taking that entity or aspect that's off-chain and bringing it onto the blockchain, representing it in a digital format. So typically, once you have an understanding of what you would like to represent, you'll use an existing standard such as ERC20 on Ethereum or an IOU-like fungible token on the XRP ledger, and you'll actually take that real-world thing and represent it on the blockchain. Now, why do you want to do that? What's the purpose of just tokenizing something for the sake of it? There isn't one. So effectively, after you've tokenized it, you want to go ahead and do something with it. You want to send it as a payment, or you want to trade it or collateralize it so you can access a loan and use one of the many advantages of tokenizing real things on the blockchain.
Did you hear that right? These tokenized assets aren't just staying on chain. There's so much more you can do with them. Funny enough, David Schwartz said the exact same thing way back in 2023. Pay attention, this is big. When you tokenize something, the possibilities expand. It's that simple. And this brings me to Quincy's point. So many people are overlooking the real potential of tokenization. Take gas tokens like XRP or HBAR. Their value today, just a tiny drop in the ocean compared to where they're headed. The future is crystal clear. Everything of value will be tokenized. Even Graham Rodford, the godfather from Artix, pointed it out. The total addressable market sits at a staggering $1.70 quadrillion. Real world assets, RWAs, won't just exist on chain. They'll be traded 24/7, 365 days a year. They'll power liquidity pools for borrowing and lending, fuel the creation of new on-chain markets, and drive insane demand for the network supporting them. That demand, it's going to skyrocket the value of gas too. We're already seeing stablecoins mirror the $1 trillion Forex market on chain. This is just the beginning of a financial revolution. Asset classes like real estate are making their way on-chain, marking the early steps of a massive revolution. We're witnessing history in the making. These utility-driven networks remain connected to Bitcoin, but the true transformation lies ahead. Real value will emerge when utility becomes the primary driver. Holding projects with genuine utility has the potential to create enormous wealth, but let's be real, the journey won't be quick or easy. I want you to understand this. I truly believe that those invested in utility-based projects today are positioning themselves for extraordinary success. This isn't just blind optimism. It's about the sheer size of the opportunity. We're talking quadrillions of dollars. an unimaginably vast total addressable market. Think about it. The $84 trillion wealth transfer alone is just the beginning. No, we're not just looking at $84 trillion. We're looking at that multiplied endlessly as it gets traded 24/7, 365 days a year. Imagine a world where assets are lent, borrowed, and exchanged seamlessly at any time. That's the true power of tokenization. It's not just a buzzword. It's the gateway to moving all of finance on chain. And with that shift comes the transformation of traditional finance. TradFi markets. Think about it. Stocks, bonds, real estate, every major asset class, every market with real value transitioning to the blockchain. It's a game changer. What's even wilder, companies like ARKX have already hinted at the mind-blowing total addressable market this represents. Ripple has teamed up to drive millions of dollars into the XRP ledger, solidifying its role in the ecosystem. With millions already invested, let's take a closer look at the impact. Take ARKX, for example, the standout leader with $111,700,000 tied to the XRP ledger. On top of that, they've unlocked access to the Aberdeen Money Market Fund through a partnership with Ripple, showcasing how innovation and collaboration continue to shape the future of finance. We're talking billions of dollars here. Yes, billions tied to this money market fund, but they're starting small, just in the millions for now. Interestingly, I think this might also be connected to ARKX. Or wait, maybe Aberdeen? Let's break it down. Take the Aberdeen Liquidity Fund, for instance. It's sitting at $44,900,000. Add another $11,400,000 to that, and you've got some serious cash moving around. And get this, even the DTCC, through their patent from Generation Infinity, is exploring tokenizing quadrillions in global assets. Yes, quadrillions. The networks tied to this include big names like HBAR, XRP, and a few others. The biggest players are already in the game. This is just the beginning. The DTCC is processing over $3 quadrillion a year in securities transactions. An absolutely staggering figure, is way bigger than most people can even fathom. And what they're telling us is just the tip of the iceberg. Larry Fink's hints about tokenizing every financial asset, that's massive. But how massive? Where are the real numbers? They're keeping us in the dark. Here's the reality. These networks, along with the entire RWA real-world asset space, are set to explode, potentially growing 10 to 100 times their current size. Right now, the total on-chain RWA value sits at $23 billion, but the total addressable market, try $1.70, quadrillion. And that's not even scratching the surface of what major players like the DTCC are handling, over $3 quadrillion in value. Let that sink in. The potential here is far bigger than we can imagine. Projects like XRP and HBAR, sure, they're currently valued in the billions, maybe reaching 100 billion on a good day, but honestly, that's pocket change compared to what these networks could be worth when trillions start flowing on chain, trading nonstop 24/7, 365. Quincy's absolutely spot on with this one. He sees the bigger picture and he's got it figured out. I need you all to really understand this because it's absolutely critical. If you don't grasp this now, you'll rush to leave the space before the real value even arrives. Right now, the value of these networks is completely artificial, pure fluff. When the real value hits, when it becomes tangible, you'll witness just how powerful, efficient, and game-changing this technology truly is. It's going to revolutionize everything. So with that in mind, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more free content. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.